What up, family? How y'all doing? Welcome to Friday night's edition of the Modern Masculine Man. And I'm just that. I'm M3, the Modern Masculine Man. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a subject that most people will say, hey, he's crazy. They're young. They're stupid. They're violent. But I want to dig a little bit deeper into it. Why does someone like Young Thugger, Pooh Shiesty, YFN Lucci, Fujiano, 42 Doug. Right now, there are 60 rappers that are in jail, 60 known rappers that are incarcerated right now. Why do they make millions of dollars and continue the same behavior? I'm the Modern Masculine Day Man. Check the intro, and we're going to get into it in a minute.
Modern Day Masculine Man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't bend, I won't break, you are not me and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man podcast, Mitch. Woo!
So, family, like I said, tonight's topic, why do rappers make millions of dollars and continue to engage in street activity, nefarious activities that would have them incarcerated for life? Like I said, welcome TikTok. I got my TikTok people on live for the first time. TikTok world, if you want to comment, all you have to do is join in to YouTube, Modern Masculine Man. But let me get into tonight's subject because we want to open up the floor for comments and people that can rebuttal. Anybody can disagree with me. Like I said, this is all my opinion, but these are opinion-based in facts that I like to say. You already know. Let's get into it. There are 3 reasons that Young Thugger and any other rapper would continue to engage in street activity that would land them in jail for life. Now, last video, you guys saw me talk about why do white boys become mass shooters. And I gave 3 reasons. And it's American reason. Number 1, white male masculinity. Number 2, white male privilege. And number 3, white males aren't used to seeing people climb up the social ladder above them. Well, in the very same way, as black men, we get our pattern for the world from white men. We assimilated in American society, for lack of a better word, I want to say we want to be white men. We're pseudo white men. We don't do what white men do, but we'll follow their lead. So there are 3 reasons that Young Thugger, Gunna, and a lot of other rappers, let me turn this volume down. There's 3 reasons that Young Thugger, Gunna, and a lot of other rappers continue to engage in criminal activities once they make millions of dollars. It is not that they're stupid. It's not that they're young. It's not that they're wild and they're crazy. It's the exact same 3 reasons that white boys become mass shooters. Number 1, black male masculinity. Number 2, black male privilege. And number 3, black males aren't used to seeing other people climb up the social ladder above them. Now I'm going to get right into it, and then I'm going to open up the mic. Black male masculinity basically comes from white male masculinity. 4 things: virility, having a strong male sexuality, the ability to make babies. As you know, in the community, that these rappers, these guys that we're talking about, we're not talking about all black men. We're talking about people from urban areas who fall victim to the traps of society, whose parents have made some bad decisions. Virility. These men make babies haphazardly. They make babies haphazardly. And when you make babies haphazardly, it leaves mothers to fend for themselves and the children by themselves. So black male masculinity is all about sex. It's sex driven. I pull a Molly in her drink and she ain't even know it. I want to share her. If it ain't no fun, if the homies can't have none. It's no different than white men conquering nations and pillaging and raping women. In our own way, in the black male culture, especially in hip hop culture, we subscribe to a rape culture. Let me share with my friends. If you bring a girl into a hotel room and she plans on just having sex with you and you got 4 or 5 guys there waiting, she may not feel pressured. She may be not strong enough to speak out, and maybe you guys will, what we say, run a train on her. But that's rape. That's a culture. Our sexuality in the black male community, we see that as masculinity. Being strong. In the white community, strong is pedigree, having a strong family name. But in the black community, because we're viral with our sexuality and we have sex haphazardly, we really don't have a strong pedigree or strong family name. So a lot of these men find their masculinity in gangs or cliques, neighborhood organizations. And that's where they find their masculinity at. That's where they find their strength at. A lot of times, the Bloods and the Crips, they say they're notorious for clicking up and ganging together to protect themselves from other gangs or other police in the community. We don't know how true that is, but we know that we like to click up. If you don't have a strong family name, if you're not a Rothschild, if you're not a Rockefeller, if you're not a Schwarzenegger, if you're not a Bloomberger, you may choose to click up and create a name for yourself to create strength in your community. Power in the white community, it's resources and finances, but we don't necessarily have the resources and finances that we have. So we, in that community, the rappers, they equate power to materialism, gold, cars, shoes, and lots of cash. Aggressiveness. These guys lack communication skills and conflict resolution skills. So they handle everything with aggression. You stepped on my shoes, I'll fight you. You looked at me wrong, I'll fight you. I'll shoot you, I'll kill you. And the sad thing about it is we pattern a lot of this aggression after the white man and after the mafia and after the Wild Wild West days. But for some reason, we don't walk up like John Gotti and kill the actual person that did it. We don't shoot the guy right here on the head in a standout in the Wild Wild West. For some reason, our aggression is taken out randomly. We just pull up and spray the whole block. We're going to spray the whole block, and innocent women and children get killed in the process. These things that are associated with black masculinity is one of the reasons that Young Thug and a lot of rappers continue to engage in these activities even after they become rich, because these things, being a criminal, being tough, ready, being aggressive, is associated with black male masculinity. Rites of passage. In the black male community, y'all remember the movie 300? They took the little boy out into the wilderness and he had to do all this. In the black community, we used to have rites of passages. Now we don't have rites of passage. So in the black community, some of the rites of passage that people like Young Thug and rappers go through is basically being able to survive a crime-ridden and impoverished community. I'm from 44th Street. Excuse me. I'm from 82nd Ave. This is my block. I'm from O Block. I should be masculine simply because I was born in this impoverished, crime-ridden neighborhood and I didn't die. I survived it. So that's part of masculinity. Parts of rites of passage is being able to say, I'm from this block. And being from these blocks in these certain areas, they create loyalty to a hood or a group. They create loyalty to YSL, loyalty to YFN. So even when I ascend the social ladder, I have this ascribed loyalty to this group that if I leave the hood or if I abandon my group, I'm somehow a sellout. But a lot of times these loyal bonds come as a result of, like I said, as far as the white communities, a lot of those poor lower class white males that commit mass shootings blame things on other communities because they have no skills. They have no skills. And a lot of these guys are loyal to the gang. They're loyal to the community. They're loyal to their troop. They're loyal to their tribe, to their fam, because they have no other skills to function in society. You take somebody like Jay-Z as a rapper. He was engaged in criminal activities, so he say, but he had the oratory skills and the social skills to assimilate into the business world. Guys like Young Thugger, they don't have these skills that it take to assimilate into the business world, and they actually don't want to, because remaining street is a part of black male masculinity. Prison culture is celebrated. So these guys, a lot of times, they're not afraid of prison. They're not afraid to do the things that would land them in prison. Why? Because prison culture is celebrated. I can recall when I was young, I had friends that would get out of jail and they would explain how it was. And there were times I felt like I could survive jail. I could survive jail, almost as if I wanted to go to jail to show that I could survive jail in the Black community. So prison culture is glorified. And lastly, but not least, an arrested mindset, arrested development. For some reason, these guys, and in our community, these group of people, not all Black men, feel that the younger I look and the cooler I look, the more masculine I am. If I can do the latest fad or sag my pants or get the latest chain or drink the latest alcohol or smoke the latest strand of marijuana, that somehow shows that I'm masculine because I'm young. I'm still cool. Secondly, Black male privilege. I don't think we understand that male privilege is a thing in America because there's an ascribed levels in society. As Black men through history, we were taught that society is basically white males, white females, and then Black men are third. The reason we feel like this, that we have this privilege to be third in society, because we are former slaves, and we feel like that we helped build this country. So we feel like as far as white men and white women, we know they were our oppressors, but we feel like next in line should be Black men. And feeling like the next in line that we should be Black men, coupled with the fact that we feel like we have a target on our back in America. We feel like that, like the 13th Amendment says, that slavery is abolished unless you go to prison. Then they created vagrancy laws and locked Black men up. So Black men feel like we have a target on our back through crack laws, marijuana laws. Now we see that they're making marijuana legal. We feel like we have a target on our back. And having that target on our back makes us feel entitled to the criminal activity. Notice we revel and we love the mafia, John Gotti, Tony Montana. We love Bugsy Calhoun. We love Lucky Luciano. For some reason, we love that criminal activity and that criminal life. And we believe that because we were the backs that America was built on, that some of us believe we shouldn't have to work. So that's why we don't take education seriously. Those guys, most of those rappers are high school dropouts. Most of them are drug dealers. Most of them are street guys. And those guys feel like, hey, I shouldn't have to work. And actually working is a sucker man's thing. This is this privilege that we feel that something is owed to us. So we engage in these criminal activities. We feel like because I was born on O Block, that this is my block. We feel like because I was born on 82nd Street, this is my street. We feel privileged to flood the community with drugs, violence, crime. We have no regard for the women and children in the community. We don't look at it and say, hey, you know what? The women and children in this community are having to deal with the repercussions and the consequences of us selling drugs, of us fighting over territory. This is my block. You can't live here. You can't sell dope here. You can't be here. We're so privileged, we feel like this is ours. And we don't consider the violence and crime in which we engage in and how it affects our women and children. We kill over the hood. We kill over a name. We kill over a name. We don't care about the women and children. This is 82nd Street. This is 55th Crips. We don't care about anybody that's affected but us. And more than anything, we feel privileged as it comes to mating with our women. A lot of times these guys make plenty babies and aren't there to take care of them. And they make statements like, well, she'll get welfare, she'll get Section 8, she'll get this to take care, she'll get that to take care of. As Black male artists, we feel, and as Black male in general, there's an affection and a adoration of criminal activity. We learned it from white men. We watched white men pillage, rape, kill, and destroy. So there's a certain privilege that we feel like we have, that we're owed something. And a lot of these guys, they continue to engage in their privilege. I'm from Atlanta. I should be the #1 rapper. not you. Thirdly, jealousy. Jealousies of other groups. Jealousy within ourselves. As Black men, we see the LGBTQIA plus receiving certain rights and benefits from society. And that's one of the number one things that most Black males are against, whether they're street people or regular citizens, because it stops the creation of Black children. So there's an animosity toward that group that keeps us wanting to be angry and upset. But then there's also a homophobia associated with it, because the trends and styles of society and the fancy Italian clothes. Look at how Young Thug are dressed. Look at how Young Gunna dress. These guys wear tight pants. They sag their pants. They show their behinds. They wear silk and tight shirts, fancy Italian name brands, $1,000 shirts, $1,000 shoes. These guys want to one-up each other. I look up and I see you have just as much as me. You got a new chain. You're trying to be the hottest man in Atlanta. You're trying to be the king of Memphis. You're trying to be the king. And I'm just not used to it. So that's why we war over blocks. You know, you would think we should be able to do organized crime and divide the blocks up like the Italians do, but we war and fight over blocks. We're seeing women thrive. We're seeing women thrive more than ever. And it's causing us to feel like we're losing our place in society. As Black men, a lot of these guys think that women are above them now. It's basically in us to be jealous and attack each other. Why? Because we look around in our communities, we see Asians, Arabs, we see Hispanics coming up, taking jobs from us, doing things that we don't want to do anymore. Artisan jobs, landscaping, brick masonry, carpentry, electrical work, plumbing. These things are beneath us now. So as we see other races taking these artisan jobs for which Black men were customarily used to doing, we say, well, hey, I'll sell drugs. I'll get into gang activity. I'll figure out another way to make it. Man, more than anything, these guys are literally jealous of each other. There's an animosity towards each other in hip hop. I can one up you. I'm better than you. I got more guns than you. I got more girls than you. I got more shooters than you. Have more money than you. And it ultimately breeds jealousy. I don't understand why YSL and YFN are beefing. Two rap record labels, two people, two groups in Atlanta taking over the rap game. But no. They're not used to seeing each other thrive. So that masculinity kicks in. That privilege kicks in. I should be king of this city. And they resort to violence. So the thing about Young Thugger is they never stopped committing violence. They never stopped. In our culture, to dress regular, to look like me, to not curse, to speak proper English, is frowned upon. I remember maybe late 90s, early 2000s, when Bow Wow started crip walking and gang culture became popular amongst our children. So that's why you have all these different sects of gangs all over the nation. It's infiltrated our music. It's infiltrated our art. Chris Brown is an R&B singer who's blood affiliated. Why? You're a singer. You're a dancer. Why are you blood affiliated? Because it's cool. It's not about protection anymore. It's about us being cool. So Young Thugger, Young Gunna, YFN Lucci, Fujiano, Young Pooh Shiesty, and a host of other rappers. It's not about the money. It's about the street credibility. Rap has this thing now where if Hood A diss Hood B, Hood A gets 1 million views on YouTube because Hood B looks at it. And then Hood B disses Hood A back, and Hood A disses. And so what you have is people rising in stardom for violence, for hatred. And it has infiltrated the rap game. So at this point, it's a part, and it'll always be here. Like I said, I'm going to open up the mic for anybody that want to come in and give their opinion on this matter. If not, we're going to get on out of here. Let's post this link right here. And in order, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on TikTok, in order to be able to comment, you have to subscribe to my Modern Masculine Man stream on YouTube. So if there's anybody on YouTube that would like to come in and comment, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. If not, we'll go ahead and get out of here. But I just want us to understand that all of our children at this point are subject to the fascination in gangs, are subject to the fascination in crime, are subject to the fascination in killing. It's not just about rappers. All of our children are growing up in this hyper-masculine environment in America. It's not just white. It's not just black. It's all of us being affected. So when someone so easily and so willing to throw their future away to have someone else killed, it's masculinity, it's privilege, it's jealousy. It defies all common sense. It defies all level of logic. But at this point in life, that's just the way it is. Right now, I don't see anybody coming in, so we're going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Modern Masculine Man. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I'm M3, the Modern Masculine Man, and we're going to be talking about masculine things and what's the man code for the new modern man. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Modern day masculine man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills, and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break, you are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!